Now, for the past few of my major videos, I've noticed that some people prefer my old intro over my new one, so I'm going to give you a little bit of compromise. I'm going to use my old intro for any rant videos. Like this one.
Mad scientists have been a recurring theme in video games for a long time, but two in particular stand out: Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik and Dr. Albert Wily. Both of these characters are well-recognized villains, but now I figure it's time to really determine who the better mad scientist is. Keep in mind, I'm only talking about their respective games. The death battle didn't have a conclusive outcome, and that Archie Comics crossover isn't canon to the games. It's Baldy McNosehair versus Evil Einstein in the Clash of Q, starting now! Both of these villains have been trying for years to take over the world, and every single plan between the two has ended in failure. Given such abysmal track records, it's hard to award this point, so it comes down to each scientist's defining moment. Eggman came literally within milliseconds of killing Sonic back in Sonic Adventure 2. That might have secured this point. However, Wily has one huge trump card. He created the Maverick virus, which was the catalyst for all the events of the X series, and by extension, the Zero series, the ZX series, and arguably the Legends series as well. Considering Wily's actions have long-reaching effects even after his apparent death, I feel that it's barely enough to earn the point here. Truth be told, Eggman's personality wasn't really fleshed out until the 3D era. Since then, however, his personality has run the gamut from downright menacing and cold, as shown in games such as Sonic Adventure 2, to a more humorous yet still threatening villain in games such as Sonic Colors. Either way, he's always doing his job with that certain Eggman flair. Wily, on the other hand, sports a personality that doesn't really deviate much from your standard issue mad scientist, complete with your typical arrogance. I don't know about you, but I think that makes this point easy. Eggman, hands down. Eggman's design was reportedly based on that of Teddy Roosevelt, while Wily was inspired by Albert Einstein. Truth be told, I prefer Eggman's design because it reflects his personality better and looks original for his characterization. Wily, on the other hand, just looks as generic as his personality, and in all honesty, he looks kinda boring. Plus, Eggman's glasses just look cool. Oh, and his mustache looks better. A lot better. Even though it may be fake. I was going to use abilities here, but these guys basically do the same thing. So instead, this point will come down to whoever has the most evil creation. Wily created Base, who turned on him because he wanted to prove that he was the strongest. Eggman created Omega, who turned on him because he was neglected. Wily created Zero, who would have been Wily's most evil creation were it not for a chance encounter with Sigma. Eggman created Metal Sonic. Enough said. We know that both of these guys want to take over the world, but why? Well, Wily and Dr. Light were once colleagues, and they both won many accolades. Wily, however, ended up getting overshadowed by Light's achievements. This eventually caused Wily to go off the deep end. Classic motivation. Eggman's motivation, on the other hand, has never been truly stated. The closest we have to a true motivation is wanting to create his own amusement park? I don't know about you, but that sounds kind of weak as far as I'm concerned. Wily's getting this one. Alright, I'll admit, this one was hard to award. Both Eggman and Wily have some key positive and negative characteristics. Eggman is willing to get his hands dirty, often confronting Sonic directly, while Wily often works as a manipulator behind the scenes, in some cases using others as a cover for his own schemes. On the other hand, Eggman had the stupid and downright cruel idea of using animals to power his badniks, while Wily has shown a bit of cowardice, often characterized by his begging for mercy. The key factor here is that Wily is almost always in control. In all but 2 games, it's Wily's plan through and through, the exceptions being Mega Man 5 on Game Boy and the Japan-only Super Adventure Rockman. On the other hand, in several instances, Eggman's plans have either been hijacked or he's been played for a complete fool, leaving Sonic to pretty much clean up the mess. Sorry, Eggman, but if you can't keep control of your own plans, you don't deserve this point. Okay, this is the big one. Given that these guys have been around for a long time, there are plenty of both good and bad boss battles for both of these guys. Eggman has bosses like the Egg Viper, the Egg Nega-Wisp, and the Death Egg Robo, and bosses like the Egg Genesis, Lava Reef's boss, and As for Wily, there have been great boss battles like in Mega Man 9 and 10, lame ones like in 6 and the Game Boy Mega Man 2, and annoying ones like in Mega Man 7, aka the boss that drove even Omega Snake crazy. So how do we decide who gets this all-important point? What it comes down to is how well each scientist does it right. While the good fights with Wily are fun and challenging, they lack a certain thrill factor. A thrill factor that Eggman's best machines deliver in spades. Let me tell you, when Eggman does a boss fight right, he nails it. With Wily's fights, they always have a weakness to make the fight somewhat easier. Against Eggman, you don't have that leverage, and the best of the battles are that much more thrilling as a result. The better a fight you can put up as a villain, the more respect you deserve, I say. And the results are in! While Dr. Wily is a villain I've loved to hate for years, and deservedly so, even I can recognize that he's been outdone here. There's a reason that Eggman is still causing mayhem on consoles, while Wily has been relegated to fan games.
Get me the butter!